Hi there, welcome to the Spark channel. So on this lesson, we're going to work on an IEB question paper and we are given an arithmetic sequence. So they tell us that this is arithmetic sequence. Let's try to find the difference in this sequence. So we can see that the difference is just 2 because what is D? Remember, the value of D is equals to T2 minus T1. This is my term 1, this is my term 2, term 3, and term 4. So T2 is just 10 minus T1, which is 8. Therefore, this gives us D to be positive 2. The first question says determine the general term of the sequence, and we know that this is arithmetic, so it is in the form of Tn. The general formula that we need to use to find Tn is this one. We just have to substitute what we have. Tn is equal to A, which is the first term of the sequence, so this will be 8. Then we add n minus 1 times d, which is 2. So make sure that you multiply out the brackets correctly. Don't make mistakes even when you add the like term. So this will be 2 times n, 2n, and then we have n times 2 times minus 1, which is minus 2. So when you add the like terms, tn is equals to 2n. I have 8 minus 2, so which is just 6. So my general term is 2n plus 6. Then you'll have the 2 mark. So now, the 2 mark, how they mark this question is that you'll get a mark for multiplying out the brackets correctly, or sometimes they can give you the mark for the correct substitution if this is 3 marks. Then the answer for the final one. Right. So the next question says that what term has the value of 116? So when they say what term has the value of 116, we are looking for n that has the value 116. So now what you need to do, your 116, this is your Tn, meaning that on your general term where there's Tn, we're going to substitute that 116 and solve for n. So where there's Tn, I put 166, it's equals to 2n plus 6. So when you solve, the 6 will come this other side to be negative, which will give us 160 is equal to 2n. Divide both sides by 2, divide both sides by 2. Therefore, what is n equals to? So we know that 2 goes into 160 80 times, so the value of n is 80. So now this tells me that T80 will be equals to 166. That's your term number 80. Then you are done solving this problem. So this is just 2 marks. You'll get a mark for equating these to 166, and you'll get a mark for finding your n to be equals to 8. So this is just 2 marks. Right, so now let's move to the next question. Calculate the sum of the first 80 terms. We know that this is an arithmetic, and the formula for sum of arithmetic is Sn is equal to n over 2 2a plus into n minus 1 times d, close the bracket. So most of the time they give you this formula. You just have to know this is for arithmetic, this is for geometric. Yeah? So no stories, just marks. Let's just substitute. If you still remember, the first 80 terms, this is your n, so this will be 80 over 2 into 2. The value of 8, the first term of the sequence was 8. Then we add this into 80 minus 1 times d, which was 2. You just have to punch everything correctly on your calculator, or you can just first simplify the bracket. So this will be 2 times 8 is 16, 70 minus 1, that's 80 minus 1, that's 79 times 2. Then when you add everything inside the bracket, you have 174. Then 174 times 40, this gives us 6,960. So the sum of the first 80 terms is 6,960. Then this is just easy marks. So most of the times in CAPS, this contribute to 3 marks, but now this is an IEB. This will be 2 marks. So you'll get a mark for your final answer, and they'll give you a mark for the correct substitution. Right, so let's see what we have on the next question. They say that it is further given that the above sequence forms the row of the first difference for a quadratic sequence. So I'm just gonna rewrite our first difference. So I'm trying to make sure that I understand what is the statement saying. So now on the statement they say that sequence that we had, which was 8, 10, 12, 14. They say this is our first difference. And now, if this is our first difference for a quadratic sequence, the Tn, an squared plus b, where T5 is 47. So now this tells me if this is my T1, this is my T2, T3, T4, and T5. So I'm given T5 to be what? We have T5 to be 47. It's given. I'm just going to write this and say, let me write it down. Let me write my T5. It's given as 47. Okay, so now what I need you to do, remember how did we get that 47? We added 14 to 47 to get T5. So I'm just gonna, to find T4, I need to subtract that 14. Whatever that I get, it should give me T4. So it's going to be 47 minus 14. So my T4 will be 33. So now I know that now the difference between T4 and T5. So T5 minus T4 will give me 14. So I need to do the same. I know that to get 33, we add something there. So I'm just going to do the reverse of that and subtract 12 from that 33. So it's going to be 33, we subtract 12. The answer that we get is our T3. So this will be my 21. And then now I know that I can, to get the next term, we set T2 plus 10 to get that 21. So now we need to subtract to find that difference, because look at this. T3 minus T2 gives us an answer of 10. So we can just subtract, because now we know T3 is what? We know that T3 is 21 minus T2 is equal to 10. So therefore, this will be 21. The 10 comes this side to be negative. T2 goes on the other side. So this is 21 with minus 10. So 21 minus 10 gives us 11. Then now I can do the same and say 11 minus 8, which will give us 3. So now we know that this is a quadratic with a constant difference of 2. So I think it's easy. The trick here was to find what? The trick was to find your general term. Now that, I'm sorry, your first term of the sequence, not the first term, but your first sequence. And this was the first difference. Now we know the constant difference is 2. So it will be easy for us to find A, B, and C. So let me do this. I know that I can say 2A is equal to the constant difference, which is 2. Divide both sides, you'll have the value of A to be 1. And then now we can find the value of B using the formula 3A plus B is equal to the first term of the first difference, which is 8. We already have 1. Make sure that you substitute this. Where there's A, substitute that 1. And then now solve for B. The value of B will be 8 minus 3, which is 5. So the value of B is 5. We can find the value of C now using the formula A plus B plus C is equal to the first term of the sequence, which is 3. You just have to substitute your A and your B to find C. Now isolate C. 1 plus 5 is 6. And then the 6 will go to the other side to be negative. It will be 3 minus 6, which is negative 3. So now, therefore, we need to write this in the form of Tn is equal to an squared plus b n plus c. So where this a is just 1, so this will be n squared plus 5b 5n then minus 3. So this is your Tn. So if this is your Tn, we know that the value of A is 1, the value of B is 5, and the value of C is minus 3. Then you'll have your 4 marks. So how do they mark this problem? You'll just get a mark for finding your values A, B, and C. And the last one, please, this is very important. They don't normally give you a mark for this thing. No, they will give you 2 marks for finding the value of C, because you just had to substitute 2 values. So by doing the correct substitution and equating this to 3 is very important, then you'll get a mark. So this is how they mark the question. Let's see what we have on the last question, and this will be out of 12 marks. Right, we are given the sum of n terms where k is equals to 1, and this is my Tn. It's equals to n. So look at this, it starts at k, it's equals to 1. So this one starts at k is equals to 1, and it's equal to x. Then the sum of 15 terms, which also start at k is equals to 1, it's given as what? 165. And look at this, they have the same general term. The difference is that this one is summed to n terms and this one is summed to 15 terms. Now determine the value of x, determine in terms of x the value of this. Guys, look at this, 2 marks. The marks are telling you that, you know what, I'm not here to fight. This is just a friendly match. Né? So now I have the sum of 15 terms. Look at this, I have the sum of 15 terms. And I'm looking for the sum of 16 terms. So there's a formula that says Tn is equals to Sn, we minus the sum of n minus 1. I'm just going to give you a quick example. Let's say I'm looking for we are looking for T16. So term number 16, I'm not sure if it's right to say it like this. So term number 16, T16 will be equals to the sum of, look at this, will be equals to the sum of 16 terms, then you minus the sum of 15 terms. So this is just a quick example now, so that you can understand what you need to do on this in this problem. So now I know that I have the sum of 15 terms. I have the sum of 15 terms. So now I'm looking for the sum of it's like they just want you to find T16, because if I say T16, we know it will be 16 minus 15, but now I'm not going to use this part, because I know that I have the sum. I can first find the sum of okay, let's do this. The sum of n terms, and the general term is 2k minus 5. Okay, so when it's like this, if we start at k is equals to, we can start at k is equals to 16. So if we are looking for 16, this will be, we take the sum of this one, which is x, because this is the sum of n terms. Then we subtract the sum of what? The sum of 15 terms to get the sum of 16 of T16. Né? So this will be, we need to subtract that 165. So this tells us that what they are looking for, this guy here, is just x minus 16. Simple. Then you'll have your 2 marks. So what we did is that we subtract the sum of n terms minus the sum of 15 terms. So it's like saying the sum of n minus the sum of the sum of 15 terms will give us the sum of 16 terms. I hope this makes sense. Né? This was just easy 2 marks, and that's it for the lesson. If you liked the lesson, please make sure that you hit the subscription button so that you don't miss the next lesson.